basic office hours. And it's portable. It's also a battery charger, so you can charge your phones with it. And it also has a camera on it, so you can actually use it as a security cam or record a meeting or something like that, all in this little guy here. And I've been using these. This is a second gen, but I've been using them for about 3 years.
Oh, I like that. Can you,
what is that called again?
Yeah, can you write that in the comments for us too?
Yeah, this is the Skyroam Solus.
Skyroam Solus.
Yeah.
Ah, that was groovy. I like that. Okay, I like that. I'm about to put that in now. Skyroam Solus. All right, cool.
Yep.
So I had to get that while I was thinking about it, y'all. All right, dope. Okay, cool. So, yeah, does anyone have any questions before we have about 3 more internet questions, but yeah, I want you guys to definitely get your questions in. Yes, please.
Okay. Are you guys insuring or have insurance for your stuff in your vehicles and your vans? And who do you go through?
I have 2 answers to that. Does anyone, before I just jump in, what do you guys think? Does anyone have any advice?
I would say it's hard to insure personal items in a car. And unless your van is an RV and you have clearly outlined insurance policies for RVs, which you can do to a van by going to get it certified, it has some things, but it can happen. But if you go and tell your insurance company, because usually it's done under property insurance or auto insurance, depending on the type of vehicle, and you say, hey,
oh, sorry, Lavelle, can you say that last part again? I think you got a little disconnected. Oh, I think we may have lost him. Okay, he's still on, but I think he just kind of lost some signal.
Yeah, I think what he's basically saying, it is kind of hard unless you're able to register the vehicle as an RV, even if it's like a Class B, which means it has to have some type of running water, restroom, a bed inside, and then it can be registered as that. But it's really tough to find an insurance company to do it. So you could license the vehicle, but the contents on the inside, you want to do that as an extra insurance. I use Progressive. So the stuff that's in my vehicle is like a renter's insurance. It's got all those things in there, but it's not included as auto insurance at all. So you might have to look at it that way.
How much extra do you pay a month for that additional insurance?
Actually, the average I would say is about $89 total. But I get it a little cheaper because I'm a little bit older. Some of the perks that come along with that. But the average is anywhere from like $89 to $100 a month. But that's if you're doing, like for me, the van is my everything. So I'm doing full coverage, everything for it. I'd rather put my money there than I was doing for like paying rent somewhere. So I took what I was paying rent and put it into the truck for insurance and all those things.
Are you in a van or RV?
I'm in a van. So I guess now with the bed and everything, it's considered a Class B. I think the same thing for Coco Pina. It's her van would be a Class B. Is what it would be classed as.
Okay.
So that's like a 159-inch wheelbase vehicle.
Cool.
I got one more question, you guys.
Yeah, please.
This probably should have been asked towards the end, but my mom is also inspired and she's want to get on the road with me and everything. I haven't actually gotten on the road yet, but she's interested and she want to know how can she been trying to get on this meet and everything. How do we get other people involved? And she said she sent you guys an email. What's the process of getting in?
Yeah. Well, there isn't really an in, I would say just, send us an email. After the end of this, can you shoot me an email? Because I'll go through and, I don't know if I missed it, we're the only two like doing this, and between that and doing our own thing, you know how it is. But yeah, just like tell people to reach out to us. We do have the website. So things are a little in transition right now because we were initially meant to have an in-person meetup, and we had planned between now and the rest of the year based off of that in-person meetup. So just bear with us as we kind of go back to the drawing board and really look at like, okay, how are we going to remodel this organization online? So yeah, we working with that. But yeah, tell her to reach out to us. We have our website, which is www.blacknomadsmeetup.org. We are planning to turn that into more of like a blog format. We want to have contributing writers, and we're also planning a lot more like virtual activities. So I do sincerely apologize if she emailed us and we missed it. I mean, but in a week we had to like send all these cancellation notices and then go back to our workshops and be like, okay, like we have to almost re-advertise a whole new event, you know, in the span of like 6 days. So she emailed and I missed it. Totally apologize, but just send us another email. We'll get her on the website. We're gonna have so much more virtual and online information for you guys. So yeah.
No problem. I told her, I said, Molly probably busy. They got stuff going on right now.
Yeah, it's been a journey. It's been a journey. But you know, we still pumping. I mean, everybody who's on this chat is learning some valuable information, and yeah, we're just going back and being like, okay, how can we take, because we was gonna go on the road.
Yeah,
man, we was gonna
people, everything.
Yeah, we were gonna do like I mean, it was a whole idea. So yeah, we keeping it moving. So but yeah, good question. Okay, so I have an online question for you guys. All right, so this is a good one. Okay, actually, there's two good ones. One for us specifically, but I'm gonna ask this first one. So someone asked, is there any app or resources that detail cities or states where Black people should avoid due to racism or safety issues? So, anybody have any ideas so far?
It would be like a mobile green book kind of thing, right? That would be pretty dope.
Yeah, and that answers that. I if you go on Google Play, they do have some apps called like the Green Book. I think there's like 2 apps out there that are like detailed about the Green Book. I haven't really looked into it. You know, I could admit I haven't like downloaded it or anything like that. But there is a mobile Green Book. I haven't vetted them. I don't know who made it. I just saw it there, so check it out. So that's the only one I know of right now. I don't really know of any, and of course the old school Green Book, you know what I'm saying, the in-text one too. So, okay, so, well, here, does anyone have any questions before I answer this next online question?
I have a question. It's kind of a twofold question.
Mm-hmm.
So, my husband and I have been thinking about this and kind of researching this for, it's probably been like 4 years now, but we just kind of pulled the trigger like within the last couple months. And so I kind of sprung this on my mom like yesterday, and she quit. And so 2-part question. First question, what type of like security measures that do you guys put in place for you to like feel more secure about not becoming like a victim of like a crime of opportunity or something like that? And then also like, does anyone else have to deal with like their family thinking that they're a crazy person?
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna just dip in for the first one. So safety measures, research. Like when we travel, we don't just show up. You know what I mean? We go online, and feel free to butt in. But I know
we look at demographics.
Yeah, we look at demographics.
We look at a lot of different things.
Yeah.
In order to, you know, prevent from being either in like a racist area or an area where, you know, obviously people who look like us aren't welcome.
Yeah.
And so far as like security measures for
I'm sorry.
For somebody not breaking in. I mean, I keep it real. We got like 2 machetes.
Yeah, we do have weaponry.
Yeah,
we do keep. I mean, if you don't want to carry something as serious as a machete, like I just carry pepper spray. Like, I mean, we all got, you know, whip it out in case you need it. You know, pepper spray, some of the research that we do is we already know where we're sleeping that morning. So what I do is I wake up, get my little coffee, you know what I mean? And then I'm on my phone thinking like, okay, where are we going tonight? Like, okay, boom. You know, so by the time we get there, it's nothing but a pull in, and then it's, you know, the space is our own. So I would definitely avoid just kind of like showing up, because then you'll find yourself like driving around at 2 o'clock in the morning, lost with this big house on wheels, already looking like a target. So I would say research. And I mean, I'm not for violence, but if you want to keep a little something, something in the car, you know, if you want to keep a little something, something, you know.
Exactly. Keep it real.
But that's all for your comfort level. You know, that's not for everybody. So I would definitely say just wake up and do your research. Know where you're going, know how long it takes to get there, know where you're sleeping. Well, like you said, look up demographics. They're true about them demographics.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we really look at some percentages and say, okay, this is all right, 89% white. We may want to go to the next town over.
Right.
So yeah, but okay. So before the second question, anybody have any input on safety measures and stuff on the road?
Actually, I do. Like as a single female, I go a lot of places by myself, and I only feel safe if I have a knife on me. So legally, if the knife is under, I think it's like 2.5 inches, you can use it.
Mm-hmm.
So like a self-defense knife.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I feel you on that.
Yeah, I got my pepper spray, you know. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say also just do what I call the common sense things. Just be aware of your surroundings.
Yeah.
About 2 years back, I had an issue with my vehicle as far as someone actually stealing the vehicle. But they used some new technology. I talked to Lavelle and them about it, but just be aware of your surroundings. If there's places that you go to regularly, try to switch it up. My issue was I was going to a gym to shower like certain days of the week on a regular around the same AM. So someone had been following or watching me, so they knew what I was going to do. So if you're in one area, just kind of be aware of your surroundings. Two, as far as violent versus non-violent protection, if you do own a firearm per se, make sure you read the laws in the different states, because there's.
Oh, I think your signal may have gone out. Man, he was dropping some good knowledge. Oh, okay, you're back. Your signal went out for a few moments there. Sorry.
Am I back?
Yeah, you're back.
So when you're crossing state lines, some areas, like for instance, California, you can't have a magazine to a gun or bullets over 10, and they have to be stored separately. The gun in one place and the ammunition in another. So that's something to always look into if you decide to have a firearm. Now, something that's non-lethal but definitely protected, I heard someone say pepper spray. There is also what they call launchers. They look like guns, but they shoot pepper balls. And you can stand as far as 60 feet away. So it'll buy you time to get out of your situation. And in most cases, if you had to pull that out, someone see the shape of that, they're gonna back off because they think you're carrying a firearm. But for total other protection, I'm like you guys, I have a machine in the truck. I'm more comfortable with hand to hand anyway. Those are just some options though. So if you do decide to purchase a firearm, just make sure you know the laws in the places you visit, and then just do what we've always been taught to do. Just be aware of your surroundings, tread lightly in areas. If it don't feel right, then don't do it. But spot looks prime. It's a space that looks like it's the perfect space, but you don't feel right about it, don't park. Just keep moving, spend a little bit more time, be a little bit more patient, find another spot.
That intuition, we have left places that were kind of like, I'm not liking certain elements. Yeah. So I'm really happy you said that. Like, just use your intuition. I mean, use your gut feeling. because it's more powerful than you think. That way you don't even, and for those who are interested in van life, we're not saying like, oh man, you gotta be strapped, you know, like I don't want you to go into this thinking like, oh my God, like I'm already assuming I'm going to be in danger. So therefore, let me go ahead and invest in some weaponry. I'm telling you these things as if it was a house with four walls. I mean, I would keep the same items in my house than I would in any vehicle. But being aware of your surroundings is a way to just avoid those situations completely, which I will come back to. Do your research, know where you're parking, you know, or look at pictures. Google, you know, you go on Google, they'll show you pictures in a little 3D 360 situation of the area. Like use those resources so you already know what it looks like before you even get there. So yeah, that was a really good question. Oh, and you also asked convincing your family who probably think you're crazy. Yeah, what do y'all think about that?
I will go. Oh,
I'm sorry. Go ahead, go Coco Pina, and Miss Selena will have you go second, okay?
Okay, I will take this one. I just recently found out I'm definitely the black sheep of my family. Yes. I don't know. I mean, I think I kind of heard what Selena said. You're gonna do what you want, right? Like I definitely came. So I'm an only child. But I'm also grown, y'all. But anyways, I'm only child, came from a single mother household. And so my mom was like really stressed out. This was like, I mean, like I said I think in one of the earlier workshops, I originally was going to buy a house. So for me to like literally 2 months later come to her and say, actually, I'm going to live in a car. Like she was like, whoa, wait, what? What is happening? Like, who are you? So I kind of just like, it was a struggle. It definitely was a struggle. Yeah, it was really hard. But I just told her, like, I had done my research. I told her I've watched a ton of YouTube videos. There was a young lady, I don't know, something Wild, Van Wild or something like that. She's a white girl. I don't remember her name, but she had a YouTube video literally designed to like how to talk to your parents, you know. And so like I just talked to my black mama and I was like, Mama, I know this is not what you had planned or like what you think, but the world isn't, you know, like what it used to be. Like it could literally be at my fingertips. And so this is my plan. Like I'm going to travel. This is how I'm going to stay safe. I know I'm traveling alone, but this is what I'm going to do. I learned to like, you're not supposed to have like a signature spot if it's not safe. If you're like traveling around, I would never stay at the same spot. Maybe 2 nights if it's perfect. But other than that, I got to move on because I don't want like to attract attention, you know. It's been a year. She just came around, I think, because she saw like it finished. She still said if we ever travel, she gonna get a hotel. But okay. But no, I mean, I think just presenting it in a way of like, you're for sure. Like, don't come with it being like, oh, hey, fam, like, I'm just gonna do this thing. No, come with like facts, come with like other people's experiences and talk what you know, and then seal it with, and I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. You know?
Yes. Well, I think, Selena, what do you think?
Yeah, you already hear how my attitude is. I'm like, I'm gonna do what I want to do when I want to do it because I'm grown. So that's just what it is.
Yeah.
And my mom, you know, she really doesn't. She's not into it. I'm actually at her house right now, but she doesn't like it. That's not how she raised me, you know. So, but she's kind of getting on board now because I purchased my van 2 months ago. So it's like she has no choice but to be okay with it because that's what I'm doing. And I actually wanted to show you guys the knife that I had just because I know you guys said something about pepper spray. And I drove into Canada twice and they confiscated it from me because it's illegal to have it there. So I did cross the border with this.
Oh, Selena, I think we lost you. I wonder if she can hear me. Okay. Oh man, she was dropping some good. I didn't know that you couldn't bring it to Canada. I definitely heard that part though. Okay. Well, we'll wait for her to come back, and then we'll definitely have her finish her question. But yeah, man, I want her to come back. I was really in tune. So
I
I'm
have a
just.
question.
Oh, sorry. Did you say something?
Yeah, I just said that I have a question. Hi, my name's Alicia. And this is more, I guess, for like travel. I don't know how many of you are actually, traveling during COVID. Um, but for me, so I'm also new. I haven't started. I actually want to do like SUV life, so living out of my SUV. And so for me though, like with COVID and like looking at different states' websites and stuff like that, like I just want to get on the road and I think it should just be fine. But I know some states have like quarantine things and they're like, oh, well, if you come into the state, you have to quarantine for this many days or whatever. But I'm sort of like, how do they even like, I guess, implement that or police that in a way? So I didn't know, if you guys are just going state to state or like how your travels are where, are you being stopped? Like to say, oh, you're from out of state and you need to quarantine, or how's that working for everyone?
Yeah, that's a good question.
I know for me, they don't really make you quarantine. They do stop and ask you if you're passing through, how long you plan on staying, but no one actually. I don't think they really enforce it 100%. I drove 2 months ago from Tennessee to Nevada, and every time I cross over, it's just like a little checkpoint, just asking, "Are you staying? Are you passing through?" So. It's not really heavily enforced right now, even though they probably should be doing that, but they're not doing that right now.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good answer. Anybody else having experiences as far as like traveling with COVID-19 going on? Are they checking you guys or? I guess not. See, we're kind of staying at our parents' house, so yeah. Oh, go ahead, Coco Pena, please.
I think like a lot of what Michael said on that half, but then like also just making sure that you like, again, do your research, I guess, kind of thing. But like, because different states have different rules at this point, but like making sure that you're also equipped just in case like you are going through a state that's like, hey, no, we have no gyms open, we don't have any public bathrooms open, and so that would suck like if you're traveling through and you can't shower or you got a little water bottle trying to spritz it on. And so I just think like doing your sorry doing
It's real. It's real.
That made me laugh.
Okay, I'm gonna get it together. But no, just making sure on your end. I mean, I know it's an SUV. I'm thinking that's a little smaller than a van, right? Like the sock, is it like the?
Yeah, I have a Forerunner, but so there's space in the back and stuff like that I could like bring stuff and whatever.
Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah, so I would just think like that on that part, because when I didn't have like the shower set up in the van or like any actual ways for me to rinse off or get the good spots, like that 7-day travel when I first purchased, that was tough. Like if those gyms weren't open, I don't think we would have been able to take showers. You know what I mean? So I just think the other half of that is just like making sure that you're equipped with like some camping shower heads or something like that, so you can take care of business.
Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah, that was a good answer. Definitely do your research in figuring out what states, what level they're at. So just as much, I mean, even like what you were saying, Michael, with knowing their checkpoints and knowing hop online, use the internet. You can know those answers before you even get there. So yeah, very good question. Especially in these day and times. So I want to get back to Selena really quick and have her finish her answer. Because girl, you was about to show off that little weapon you got, girl.
You already know. My phone died. Okay, so I was saying I drove into Canada twice and my pepper spray got confiscated. So that's when I started looking into a self-defense knife, and I actually crossed the border with this knife. So it's like this little, and it's like this. Yeah, it's under like 2.5 inches or 2.3 or something like that, but it's legal to use, is what I'm saying. So because I was able to cross the border with it, I know you can use this in Canada,
Mm-hmm.
So now that's my main, I don't want to have to use it, but if I have to, I'm definitely not afraid to. So,
Mm-hmm.
but I've been in a situation where, like I said, I travel a lot by myself, and I drove to the East Coast, West Coast, like 4 times back and forth by myself. And at a rest stop, I actually had someone watching me sleeping. So I heard him saying like some sexual things towards me, like I'm sleeping, and I could hear like coughing, and I was ignoring it. And then I kept hearing coughing, and I thought it was weird because I'm like, I always sleep at a rest stop, and I never have any issues. So for this one day, I heard something sexual after, and I'm just like, okay, I'm ignoring. Maybe he'll just walk away, and he didn't. Said something again, and then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to change location. So I got in my car and I drove like 10 minutes away just to get away from that guy. Another time I was in Arizona and I was sleeping, and I kept hearing rocks, like crunching rocks, and I opened my eyes and I see a guy standing next to my car. There's no other cars. I'm like, how did he get over here? Like as if somebody dropped him off and he was just standing next to me. So then I waited maybe 10 minutes and he didn't leave. When I got up, he had a big rock in his hand. So I'm thinking like, what, you gonna try to break in my window or something to get in here? And I'm just like, yeah, like it was like I had 2 situations that I was like, okay, like I'm glad I had my knife on me, because if it got to the point that I had to defend myself, I will, and I'm not afraid to use it. But it's kind of scary for me, I'm like 110 pounds, and me against a man, I can only do so much. So
Girl, don't you worry, you would have taken him down, girl. That would have been his last day. I believe in you, sister. That would have been his last day, man. You gotta be happy.
It would have been his last.
I believe in you. Like, oh man, but I'm happy you're safe. Now I'm happy you're still here to tell that story, which really goes to show. Oh man, I hope her phone didn't die, but she gonna come back. But going back to that, having awareness, especially as us women out here, just especially when you're with someone else, it's a little easier. But again, having that situational awareness, knowing where you're parking and stuff like that, and just using some of those things as like a last resort, having and not need them, then need them and not have them. That's my saying for life. So I know we're going over a little bit, so if anybody has to go, totally fine. But I think I want to get in maybe like 2 more questions. One question I really want to get in. I'm going to ask an online question, and then, Patrice, if you want to ask your question, and then we'll ask our question.
Hi, everybody. I kind of struggle with social cues and intercultural ones sometimes. Is there like a nomadic code of like conduct, like when 2 nomads meet? When we're in the streets, like when I hit the streets and I run into you, or I need right.
Everybody like me. Yeah. I mean, so when we met another Black van life couple on the road. And I mean, it was this community. I can even say that was part of the reason why we wanted to start Black Nomads Meet, because we was out there by ourselves in cities we'd never been to before. Like this was all new for us. And we met another Black van life couple. And it was like, man, you gonna do the same thing too? You know what I mean? Yeah. So we were able to just trade stories, and it was just so natural and so organic. So there is no code. Just be yourself and be honest.
I remember we was actually in Target. We was in Burbank, in California.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
And I had, hey, yo. And I was like, I turned around because I knew from the accent he was from the DMV.
He's from where we were from.
Yeah, he's from Maryland.
And we were in LA.
He was in LA. I was
so we like, where they from?
I was like, that's a Maryland accent. I turned around and it's a tiny home truck.
You guys are following him. He's awesome.
Yeah. And I was like, hey, what's up, man? And I recognized him because obviously he follows us on social media. And we just started talking and vibing. And later on, we went over to his build and we chilled out. And
hung out. Like it was like chilling out at the house. Like,
yeah, and it was cool, man.
Yeah.
So that was definitely a cool thing. Just walk up, be yourself, like just vibe
real.
out.
Yeah. I mean, so if you ever see us or anybody on this call, just feel free to say, hey, like I follow you, because you're going to meet so many people whose main goal is to just connect. They really just want to build community, build friends, and have real, honest friends. So just be yourself. You know, we friendly people, you know, and because we live in our van and we make our own hours, we can go and hang out for a little bit, you know, and trade tips and advice. So yeah, just be yourself. So yeah, so there's one question that was kind of directed more towards us. But before, does anyone else have any input on, you know, when it comes to meeting fellow nomads on the road? Like, how do y'all, like, how does it make you feel? How do you approach it? Or if you haven't met any nomads on the road, like, how would you approach it, I guess?
It's exciting, like, to just know that I don't know, like, you already know people exist, but like to actually like see them, like, hey, yo, can I go get in your van? And like, yeah, can I go get in yours? Like, to go and like check each other's vans out, or like we're doing right now, just exchanging stories and sharing things. I also get a little nervous. I went to actually the beginning of is it Vanlife? Yeah, Vanlife apps event when they were doing like that Baja to that one. And I seen some people, and I was like, I don't want to be like, I'm loud, as you can see. So it was like, I don't want to turn nobody off, like, and then finally we made eye contact, and I was like, and then they like nodded, and then it was like a whole thing, and I was like, oh, hey, how's it going? And oh, it's cool to see like other Black people do this. And then it'll be kind of like the story or the question that you had brought up, where it was like, how's your family deal with this? Or like, how'd you break this to like your friend group, you know? And so, no, I just think like being cool and yeah, just go for it. Like if you don't get anything in return, just head nod your way back out. But for the most part, I feel like the people I've met are legit, man. It's been a good time.
Yeah, I can say that too. Every Black nomad that we met on the road has been like real, you know. And we told them who we are, and they've come to find out, like, they're like, oh, I already follow Black nomads, and we're like, yeah, where's that? And they're like, oh my gosh, you know. So it's always kismet. It's always kismet. So okay, cool. So we have a question that was directed towards us. And I definitely want you guys to jump in as well. So someone asked us personally, I'm gonna read it to you guys. They asked us, how do we manage alone time when you are doing van life with your partner?
So yeah, I would first start by saying, obviously we have our own hobbies that we like to do. And there's been times where, like, I'm a musician, so it's times where I put my headphones in and I'll start playing my bass.
And it's like 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
I go to bed at 10. Like 10:30 is late for me. Yeah. You know, so he's playing music.
I'm playing music and doing my thing, and you may be doing something else. You may be like online reading, or you might be writing. And that, even though we're in the same space, we're still having our separate time. You know what I'm saying? Where we're in our zone doing our thing. So it's one way we do it. Another way we do it too is sometimes you may want to go to the store and get some things.
Yeah, sometimes we'll split going to the grocery store together.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, well, I'll be gone for like 40 minutes, whatever, grocery shopping, and then he'll be doing
some different things.
Yeah. So you end up really kind of communicating, like, okay, let's say someone's going to the laundromat. It's like, okay, well, you go to the laundromat and I stay in the van. That's like an hour and a half or so. Something new that we implemented that I am really excited about is we put up a curtain between the bed and the kitchen now. So, and it's like a black dark curtain. So if I'm in the bed and I'm, whatever, reading or whatever, he can now be playing his music at 1 o'clock in the morning. And I just close the curtain, we have our own space. But when we were answering this question earlier, we also brought up something that was really important. And this doesn't just have to be like a relationship. This is even just with your friends, and if you're doing any kind of capacity doing this lifestyle with another. Spend as much time together before you move in that van as you possibly can, because y'all gonna know everything about each other. Like, I mean that in all capacities. Like, and you just will. You will. So the more time that you spend doing things together and just spending time together before you move in that van, it really just makes that transition so much more fluid. And then also just communicating and saying like, look, like I go to bed at 10:30. So at 10:29, I'm in the bed. So, you know, we have that dialogue with each other where we respect each other's certain schedules. He'll put in his headphones, and then we've just kind of come to certain agreements that we make before moving in the van, and then being open and transparent when it's like, yeah, this isn't working for me. You know, like how can we fix that? So yeah, that one's the big one. Yeah, that curtain though, that's changing everything, because it's like blackout, I'm in my space, you know, and then we come back together and it's cool, you know. All right, so like I said, if anyone has to go, feel free, or we're recording this, so if you guys have to leave and you're missing anything, it's going to be online. But I guess we want to allot time for like just one more question, and then we'll go ahead and wrap it up. Does anyone have any questions?
I don't want to be I don't want to be greedy and steal the last question. So if anyone else has something, but I wanted to ask, where do we start with solar panels? I want to get solar panels, but I have no idea where to begin. Like, does anybody have any ideas of, like, you know, call a local company and ask questions, or try to see if we can get like a free consultation or something, or if anybody else is doing that or have been through that process?
I can say something about that. I'm Lil, by the way. My video was off because we're installing our solar today. But
wow.
I would say start with YouTube. There's some really good videos that walk you through what amount of solar you need, because a lot of the builds, if you just watch build videos, they'll have big systems, but you might not need it. So there's videos where they're going to tell you, okay, if this is the stuff you're going to use, this is how much solar you want, this is how big your battery bank needs to be, and these are the parts of the system. There's this one guy, he's like a young white kid, but like he's really, really clear about how he explains why you have certain parts and fuses here and how to protect everything. But definitely start with, what do you need to power? And then go build from there, because you can find solar companies like all over the board. Anybody can tell you, but you don't want to buy a bigger system than you need, because that's a lot of money. You know, that's what we took 2 years before we got ours, because we wanted to pace out, see what we needed. And then we just got it like 2 months ago, or we ordered it like a month ago, and we finally got to the point where we felt comfortable installing it ourselves. So that's where I would start.
That's a good answer. Yeah. Anybody else? Any input on the solar panels? I'm listening too, because we don't have solar panels, so we we a little late, you know. But
I would say, make sure you shop around on Amazon. Just do your research. I bought one. You know, everybody's talking about the big name brand ones or whatever. But I bought an off-name brand one, and it does the same thing. I have all the equipment that I need, and I save money, and it's going to do what I need it to do. So don't get tricked by the big brand names. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't go for the cheapest, but I wouldn't actually go for the most expensive if you can't afford the most expensive.
that's a good answer too. Definitely do your research. There's a lot of people doing a lot of the same thing out there. So yeah, to take that time, you know, take that time to really invest on something that is going to be an investment and not a cost. So, all right, I think we have one person who has something to say as well. Your name isn't popping up, but yeah, feel free to go when if you still want to answer.
I have the question I have. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I'm a single woman because I haven't hit the road yet. I'm kind of part-time in it because I currently work, and then I live in my van in the area I'm familiar with. But as a single woman, I know we talked about safety and all of that, but once you get single and once you get started and you get in the groove, I know we talk about meeting friends, but, you know, if you want to socialize on a more romantic level, how does it work for people who are completely single and might want to find a traveling partner? I know this is superficial, but I just had to ask.
Oh, that's a great question. Yeah, what do you guys think? Oh yeah, please go ahead.
Saw my shoulders rolling. I be upfront and let whoever it is know that you live in a van, because they might also think it's creepy if they just show up and they like, oh shoot, what is this? Because I have gotten both. Like, oh, you didn't tell me you lived in a van. Oh, my bad. And then I'll get like, oh, that's really cool, and it's a good like conversation starter. You definitely want to, right when you were talking about safety, go in a very secluded area, whenever things pop off, because it is a van on wheels. So everything that's going on in your van, everybody's going to know about it outside of it. so just find a nice spot. And yeah, I don't know, like for me, it's a conversation starter, and I'm honest and upfront, like, hey, like we can do whatever, like, but I live in a van and we can like go sit out and have our date, or I can come to you. Like, I think and I hope that answered your question.
It did. Thank you.
Yeah, that was a really good question. I mean, I'm biased because I'm with someone in my van, but some YouTubers that I watch, they were just kind of like, put yourself, just like with any dating, put yourself where you want to find that type of person. Like, you'll hear people say like, oh, if you're looking for a guy in a bar, you're going to go to a bar and you're going to find a guy. If you're looking for a guy who reads, go to a library. If you're looking for someone who's compatible with you, and not just in nomadic lifestyle, maybe that thing to you is traveling. Like for me, that thing to me was I really needed a partner who was into healthy eating, because that's just what I do. So I put myself in situations where I would find a person who reflects those core passions to me. So if you're interested in, let's say, finding a partner who's a traveler, go to campsites. You know what I mean? Go to meetup events. Black Nomads meet. I mean, we got, people messaging and talking all the time in the comments. Like, just engage yourself. And when we get the in-person meetup, come to that too. But yeah, like putting yourself in those situations, and like she was saying, like when it is time to get serious and it's time to handle that business, like to buy yourself a little campsite, $10, $15, and take care of it. So I hope that answers your question as well. All right. So any other questions?
Just real quick, thank you for answering the questions, and I really appreciate the information. This is really helpful. For those of us that are interested in like business and venture capitalism and all that stuff, is there an opportunity to talk with you guys later on about ideas, or is there a community where those ideas can go? Yeah. As we're talking, I'm like thinking, oh, what about this? What about that?
Yeah, feel free to email us. The email is info@blacknomadsmeetup.org. When you're emailing that, you're emailing us. It's
okay.
Yeah, so definitely shoot us an email, and let's communicate with each other. So yeah, that was a good question. And for anything, I mean, even those who attended the previous meetups, like I said, we are recording everything, but shoot us an email if you're like, hey, if you want to get connected with somebody in particular, or you may have missed a certain question, feel free to email us at any time, and we can try to get those answers to you. So yeah, so if anyone doesn't have any more questions, we can go ahead and wrap this up. I'm gonna check the chat section, make sure. Oh, I will say one more thing, just really quick, not to hold anybody up, but we were talking about like solar panels. So I know we have another discussion in the comment section about the different types of power banks. So we use the
Yeti to Go Zero.
Yeah, we use Goal Zero.
Yeah.
And they have we have like a 600-watt one. But that's what we need. It serves our needs, and they have solar panel units as well. Now I'm just kind of taking the chat discussion and putting it into here in case no one saw it. But the conversation in the chat was like, yeah, but they only kind of are compatible with their own like brand of products. Like you can't like take a Gold Keep and then buy something for another like product and hook it up. Like they have some compatibility issues. So if you are interested in doing solar panels, if you want to do it like from a power bank, like we do, and actually have like it's a battery and a
inverter.
And an inverter at the same time, and you can pull that energy either through plugging it into the wall, or you put your solar panels up and it collects the energy that way. So that's what we do personally. We also have another brand named Jackery too, which is a little cheaper. Oh, cool. All right. Someone said Jackery works with multiple panels. So yeah, check them out as well. Those are the two that we're kind of familiar with. And yeah. So yeah, does anyone have any more questions? All right, I think everybody's happy. So okay, well, cool. We're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. I've been seeing people come to every single workshop. Yeah, this was amazing. I enjoyed everybody's input and energy into this. I mean, it's so inspirational. And just seeing so many people who are at so many different levels. Some people just starting out, some people have been doing it for years, and everybody's just helping and exchanging information. I mean, it's truly a natural high. It is. So yeah, like I said, this is going to be online, this whole workshop, as well as the other one. So get on our website, which is www.blacknomadsmeetup.org. And I'll be posting the videos on there. Go ahead and subscribe, and go ahead and subscribe just for future events too, because as Bruce and I are starting new projects and kind of shifting how we're approaching Black Nomads Meet, we're going to have a whole bunch of stuff coming out. Yeah, we're going to be working. So definitely subscribe, get on the mailing list, and just stay connected with us. So yeah. So yeah, and I just want to let you know that I am going to be sending out a survey for you guys who attended. So if you could please take those extra 20 seconds out of your day and just answer the questionnaire, and that would really help us know how well we did. So yeah, anyone else have anything else to say? I'm about to close her out. So
I just want to say, like, thank you so much to the both of you, and like to like kind of like summarize everything today. Like, what you're doing is what we need. Like I don't care how many YouTube videos I watch with like other people in those YouTube videos, the Black experience at the end of the day is so different. And like, we need our own platform. So I really, and I know I'm always seeing your IG message talking about, I love y'all fam, but I really do love and like appreciate y'all for having this platform, because our experiences are different. Like, you are the green book of like Vanlife, like you're getting started, like, you know what I'm saying? And so like, I just want to say, like, I really appreciate it, and I'm here for y'all always.
Yeah, thank you. Supporters, man, the teamwork makes the dream work. All right, thank y'all.
Thank y'all. Thank you to all the Q&A panelists too. I appreciate y'all.
Yeah, big ups to y'all. Yeah. So all right, well, we're going to go ahead and close it out. Feel free to reach out to us at any time. Okay, guys?
All right.
Awesome. Bye.